علي علي دلالي نبضاته، علي 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 قرآني وآياته، علي يا أحلى نسمة، علي بشفافي بسمة، علي يا أحلى نسمة، علي بشفافي بسمة، علي 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 دلالي نبضاته، علي علي يا كرار يا أجمل أمين، علي يا درب العدالة البنسي.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن أعداءهم. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Hello, dear brothers and sisters, respected viewers. Welcome to this beautiful live show, which is broadcasting to you from Karbala, from land of Hussein, from land of Abbas, from Bain al-Haramain, live in the night of the birthday anniversary of the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. So I would like to send my greatest congratulations first to Imam of our time, Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajuh Sharif, for this great anniversary, birthday anniversary. And after that, I would like to send my congratulations to all of you, respected brothers and sisters, who are watching us this time, right now. And inshallah, Almighty grants us this great opportunity to stay in this path and be true followers of Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. So we actually need to praise to Almighty God and say, Alhamdulillah alladhi ja'alana min al-mutamassikin biwilayati Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. All praise to Almighty God for granting us this great opportunity of being followers of Ahlul Bayt, of Commander of Faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. So tonight we are here in Karbala, and we are going to have a very great and full of information discussion with a respected guest who is here in the studio with me. I'm sorry, and we are going to have a great talk about the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. So please welcome Sheikh Mustafa Akhound, who is here in the studio with me. So I say salam to him, and also I congratulate you, Sheikh, for this great birthday anniversary.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's an honor to be here once again with you, my dear host, Brother Mustafa, and with the viewers of Imam Hussein TV 3. I'm thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ever grateful that has given me this opportunity again to come and share with the audience and the viewers the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam and the holy verses of Quran. Also, I would like to congratulate you, our viewers, and first and foremost, our beloved Imam Mahdi Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajuh Sharif, and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by this night, the night of the birth anniversary of the commander of the faithful Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, to give us the best idea of our time, and that will be to hasten the appearance of our beloved Imam Mahdi Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajuh Sharif. I'm at your service.
Thank you so much. And I would like to notice that tonight, most of the viewers who are watching this show right now, they are those loyal Za'ireen of Imam Hussein alayhi salam who are used to performing ziyarah of Imam Hussein alayhi salam every odd night, as they are Za'ireen of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and they are just watching me right now. I have sent the broadcast, the advertisement of this live ziyarah show, and actually it's not the live ziyarah show only, of this show, this conversation, to all of the respected brothers and sisters, and they have already received the advertisement of this show. So if you're watching this show right now, you are also Za'ir of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and besides, you're going to learn more things about the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. So ziyarah with ma'rifah, ziyarah with knowledge is going to be greater than only ziyarah by itself. So we are here and we are ready to listen to what you have brought for us.
Thank you so much. I think it's very important when we get to an occasion, be it a martyrdom of any of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, or their birth anniversary. If our audience remember, and our viewers, respected viewers, we discussed about a book called Tuhaf al-Uqul by Bahrani, and we mentioned it when we had the program about the martyrdom of Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam. that in a way that we can appreciate the life of the Imam, each of the Imam that we are either celebrating or commemorating their martyrdom, it's to take an hour to less, more, and read a couple of narrations from their lives and see what is this narration trying to tell us and what it's trying to educate us with. Because that's one of the best way of us appreciating them.
Yeah.
Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they sacrificed themselves, they sacrificed everything that they had for the sake of this religion to get to you and I, for us to attain Allah's satisfaction, for us to gain nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the way that we can get nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is by applying their teachings. As Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi states that I'm leaving behind two valuable things, where he brought his index fingers, two of them together. Ma in tamassaktum bihima, if you hold on to both of them together, lan tadillu ba'di abada. You won't go astray. So holding on doesn't mean like physical holding to the physical Quran only and holding to a book of ahadith. Rather, reading the ahadith, reading the verses of the Holy Quran, and slowly applying them. I always have given this action plan, and my viewers who are familiar with my style of talk, they know that within every lectures we have to have at least 3-4 action items and actionable plans that we can take it further. And one of the action plan is that we take a time every minute, every day, one hadith. We read one hadith and we think and ponder about that one hadith. By end of the year, we have 365 hadith and narrations that we have learned and we have pondered about, and we brought bits and pieces of that hadith into our lives, and we can see how much it influences us, how much it enhances our lives, rather than just ignoring it and not paying attention to it. So in order for us, the night of the birth anniversary of the commander of the faithful, Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, in order for us to appreciate him more, it's for us to take one hadith at least. It's a beautiful hadith. While I was preparing it for tonight, it's very difficult to condense information regarding one hadith or one verse in one episode. It's very difficult. As always, I have said, I don't wish my job for anybody. It's very difficult because the more we read from the hadith, we see all of these gems that we say, okay, how about these gems for the audience? For myself first, I mean, all of the information that we prepare is for our own selves first, and then also we share it out. So it's a beautiful hadith. It's in Kitab al-Tawheed by Sheikh al-Saduq, one of our great scholars, who was born year 300 after Hijrah, by the dua of Imam Mahdi ajalallahu ta'ala faraj al-Sharif, and who wrote one of our 4 books of hadith. I mean, we have 4 books. Man la yahdharuhu al-faqih, Kafi, Tahdhib, and Istibsar. He's the author of Man la yahdharuhu al-faqih. So it's a very authentic book, Kitab al-Tawheed, which also I recommend our audience to read it. It's a book of ahadith and books about knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and about our aqaid. In this book, he has a beautiful hadith. It's narrated from Ja'far ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq alayhi salam, an Abih Muhammad ibn Ali, an Abih Ali ibn al-Hussein, an Abih al-Hussein alayhi salam, قال أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام.
It's a golden chain.
Beautiful golden chain that you can find. إن للجسم 6 أحوال. Our physical body has 6 conditions. الصحة والمرض. Either we are sick or we are healthy. That's 2 conditions. والموت والحياة. Either this body is dead or alive. والنوم واليقظة. Either awake or sleeping. وكذلك الروح. Same thing for our soul and spirit. فحياتها علمها. If we want to see if our ruh, our soul, our spirit is awake, and the way that we can awaken it is by knowledge. وموتها جهلها. If we live our life, the life of ignorance, and we're not taking any steps toward gaining knowledge.
In other words, exactly the same conditions which are for the physical body,
Definitely.
they are
applies
exactly
to the
for
yes.
the ruh or the soul.
As I said, وكذلك للروح means وكذلك الروح. Ruh also, same as physical body, has 6 conditions.
6 conditions, yeah.
Ruh, also our soul, has 6 conditions. We'll go through each and every one of them.
Right.
I remember I was driving in the States, and I was hearing a commercial about physical virtual reality test. This is a test that you go to a lab done by doctors. They will scan all of your body, and they can identify and diagnose any signs of tumors or cancers, anything, any illness before it spreads. So it's a it costs about almost $600. But they were saying that a lot of people were able to prevent cancer, tumors, and so on and so forth of these illnesses and diseases
By doing this test.
Only test. It starts. I mean, because as a stage, when it says the beginning of stage, if you look after it and take the precaution toward it and take the medicines necessary, you'll be able to prevent it. A lot of people won't be able to know it because they haven't done these physical reality tests. And then when it gets to the stage 3 or 4, which is very dangerous, they come to realize because of the pain and so on and so forth. This hadith came to my mind, that this hadith also is bringing our attention to our soul. Because a lot of time, we are not aware that we are ignorant about A or B or C or D. We think we know. And based on that assumption that we know, we act.
Yeah.
And we go 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, based on that one assumption or one idea that we thought it was right, and we moved forward. After 10 years or 15 years, we come to the conclusion, oh my God, I was wrong. What I said, it was wrong. What I did, it was wrong. That's why, I mean, one of the subjects that we study in Hawza that I really appreciate, and I think everybody should study it, being in Hawza or not, is logic, mantiq.
Yeah.
Which mantiq, they say the reason why we study mantiq, يعصم مراعاتها الخطأ في الفكر. If you apply this logic, it will prevent your mind from committing mistakes. And, well, you think that this is the right way to think, and this is the wrong way to think. The same way that, for example, in Arabic grammar, sarf and nahu, it teaches you how to talk and how to speak, and the words, the ending should be a, o, and so on and so forth. This also teaches us how to think. Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, within their ahadith, they are teaching us how to diagnose ourselves. There's no physical test that we can go to
and test your soul.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I wish there was. I mean, there would be a
that would
long
be
line.
Easier, exactly. Well, that was so easier than doing some, non-physical things.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there is no any test like that.
But they have given us the tools.
Yeah.
I mean, self-evaluation is something that we always have been encouraged, that we think to ourselves. تفكر ساعة خير من عبادة 70 سنة. Just thinking 1 minute or ساعة. ساعة doesn't mean like 1 hour.
Yeah,
it can be 1 minute.
Yeah.
We always bring the example
a short portion of time.
A time. حر بن يزيد الرياحي. On that specific day of Ashura, he thought for a short period of time, a very short. It wasn't like a couple of days or a couple of months. He had time to think, oh, should I go here? No, let me ask some people. Let me take advice from other people. Let me counsel some people. No, it came to a quick minutes or two. I have to make a decision. Am I going to be with Imam Hussein alayhi salam or with Yazid? He actually did some calculation in his mind. Very quickly, he saw that the conclusion.
And he made his decision.
That's it. So that's why we see it's worth more than 70 years of worship. Yeah. Because those people being in the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, they're also worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, quote unquote. And they used to recite Quran and do salah, but not doing the imam of your time, there is no benefit to it. You come and kill the imam of your time, seeking nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is, you won't be even near that ideology. Yeah. So Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, as we mentioned, they have always encouraged us self-valuation. Man arafa nafsah faqad arafa rabbah. If you get to know yourself, you get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the value of us knowing ourselves. So you put all of these ahadith. Right now, Imam says, okay, you want to know yourself, your physical body. He made it very simple. Like even a kid, you can tell him, okay, the way that you're sleeping, your soul also sleeps. The way that you sit and you're alive, the soul also dies. And slowly, slowly, you can simplify it for them to their age and then slowly grow up.
To get an idea about the soul thing which is not visible, which is not understandable easily.
Yes.
So Imam is getting this example, is
Very
giving
true.
us this example so we can just feel it,
Yes.
just like as we feel our
Very
bodies.
tangible, very tangible. That already shows us a lesson that when we're trying to talk with someone, try to make it as tangible as possible. Not only thinking about this big ideologies and this big, like gigantic theories at the end. No, it's very simple. It's
Just
very
like your body.
basic. Very basic. So we go through, I hope, I mean, I know we're not going to have time, but at least to how many of them we can go through. Imam says the same way that your body is alive, I mean, it's death or alive, your soul. فَحَيَاتُهَا عِلْمُهَا.
Yeah.
If we want to know our soul is alive or is dead, how can we determine? It can be determined by us to see, do we have knowledge or not? Our actions are based on knowledge or is based on lust and desire? Which one? And there's a beautiful hadith in Kaf al-Sharif. And also, I mean, everybody will be amazed at how much I use the Kitab Tuhaf al-Uqul. It's a beautiful book. Again, I think it's a book that by us reading it, it will give us everything that we need from the words of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. I mean, we have a lot of books of ahadith. But this has summarized beautiful, hand-picked the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. In it also we have this hadith. It's a long hadith from the Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Junud al-aql wa junud al-jahl. The soldiers of intellect and soldiers of ignorance. Every minute that we make decision, I don't have time to go through that, 70-70,
Yeah.
Imam mentions. Every decisions we're about to make, either we're making based on intellect or ignorance. So Imam gives us this tool. See, at the time of decision making, was your soldier of intellect stronger or was your soldier of ignorance stronger? The one that is stronger, it will be the one who's ruling you, is the one that is going to aid you. For example, anger and forbearance. Well, if I become angry more often and I make decisions, well, that soldier is more powerful, and that is the one that is guiding me, that is leading me. It's like a horse that you have the leash of your nafs and yourself is to anger, and so on and so forth. So فَحَيَاتُهَا عِلْمُهَا, knowledge. Unfortunately, people do not appreciate the school of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam.
Children, knowledge of what? You know, in the meantime, I would like you to describe also that what kind of knowledge you mean by this hadith. And knowledge of physics, chemistry, or mathematics, or no, there's another kind of knowledge which is important for people to have in order to make their soul alive.
Beautiful question you asked. Knowledge, any of all of these knowledge that you mentioned, these worldly, that's we always been encouraged. طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم ومسلمة أو على كل مؤمن ومؤمنة. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, gaining knowledge فريضة is obligatory upon men and women. For those who say Islam is against women gaining knowledge and learning, no. طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم ومسلمة. Men and Muslim women. But if we just think, what knowledge benefits me more? In this dunya, because we believe in akhirah.
Sure.
الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. مؤمنون, we read in Surah Al-Baqarah.
Yeah.
We believe in unseen. We believe in life after death. I definitely have to have one knowledge. All the other knowledge will become secondary. That is the knowledge of what Allah wants from me. How should I live this life so I can attain His satisfaction, so I can have good life in this life? رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. That's the beauty of our religion. You see, some of the religions, they only focus about life after death. Some of the religions think about only the spirituality and humbleness and piety of this world and letting go of all of your materialistic life, just becoming a monk or nun and just dedicating yourself to the God and the Creator, isolate yourself. And no, Islam says both world, I created you this life, Allah says, enjoy this world, take from this world for life after death. So we have to know, how should I live this life of mine? Because for example, right now, GPS, we want to go from point A to point B. We have a GPS. That shows us this is where you're starting, this is your destination, this is how long it's going to take you. And for example, some of the GPSs will give you, be careful, there's a police officer or there is a gas station that you might need. Well, knowing how to use this GPS. If not, for example, a kid, you give them a phone and it has GPS in it. They take advantage of all the games, but when they're lost somewhere, so okay, you have a phone. For example, you come to Karbala in Arba'in. We see a lot of kids get lost. Kid has an iPhone. An iPhone has applications, Find My Phone. So you say, okay, turn on this. I say, I don't know how to do it. You tell the kids, well, I told you so many times, don't only play games. Try to find the other applications which benefits you. Go to GPS. Say, okay, what is GPS? Well, the GPS is like, you're going to put your location and the location that you want to go to. You press go. It will bring you home. Well, I don't know anything that. And he's crying and he's frustrated. We'll tell him that we told you already. This GPS helps you. Quran, Ahl al-Bayt alayhi salam. Their words are like GPS. Shows us where we are, where we need to go to, what is the direction toward it. This is this place right, this place left, here stand up there, say here, don't say here, do's and don'ts for every minute of our life. All the do's and don'ts has been given us. But we put the Quran aside for some people, ahadith completely aside. Ramadan comes, we open the Quran and we read. Well, we're not understanding anything from the Quran. That's why an action plan would be. So the first action plan was to have al-uqul. Second action plan is we'll take one verse of the Holy Quran every day. We read it, we read the translation of it, we think and ponder. As we mentioned, at the end of the year, 365 years, 365 verses of the Holy Quran, and 365 ahadith. How much this, basically we become aware of the phone that we have.
You know, exactly when you're talking, you remind me the hadith and the narration of Ad-Dunya Mazra'atul Akhirah.
Very
It
true.
exactly gives us this point of view that you need to work in this world and use all the items, all the facilities, all the things that Almighty has blessed to you and given to you as a gift, as a rahmah, as a ni'mah, as blessing, in order to make the best benefit in the hereafter. So you live in this world, not just like that monk that you said, okay, isolated from any other person and just being with himself. No, you need to make the best usage of the facilities and of the everything that you find here in order to get prepared for the hereafter.
Very true. And also the verse of the Holy Quran says, قُلْ مَنْ حَرَّمَ الزِّينَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. Who has forbidden you to take advantage of the beauty of this world? No, take it, but in a right way.
In a right way,
Use it for the right purpose. Take it like this phone. Use it for you to find a direction. Use this world, all the blessings that Allah has given you. Use it, take advantage of it, enjoy it, but have a purpose behind it.
So this is the knowledge that we need to know if we want to have our souls alive.
Where we are, where we're heading, and what is required from us, how can we get to that direction faster?
Great.
So we know. Well, that bring about usul ad-din, that okay, I'm here because Allah brought me. That brings us tawheed, that brings us adala, that okay, this Allah that brought me is just. That brings us prophethood, that okay, this Allah sent me prophets that showed me the way. The prophet has left this world. There are imams which keep telling us this is the direction, this way, this way, this way. And then, well, the end will be life after death, heaven or hell. This is the knowledge that we want to know.
Sure.
All the others will become secondary. So, فَحَيَاتُهَا عِلْمُهَا. We see some people are physically alive, but their soul is dead. If I walk, I've given this example so many times. I saw a social studies was done, a test in New York, in Manhattan, one of the most richest city in the world and very populated. They brought a 6-year-old kid. I always bring this example and it surprises me, shocks me that where we have reached. New York really gets cold. It's really, really cold because it's north. A 6 to 8-year-old is sitting on the side of the street. He has a plastic bag around him only. Naked, but a plastic bag, shivering. And they have a camera, like very far. They're trying to see who will help this individual.
This little kid,
8 years old.
8-year-old, oh my God.
Shivering in the cold winter of New York. People walk past by him hours and hours and hours. People who are walking and they're watching their phone, they're not aware of their surrounding. People who see the kid, but they
ignore it.
They ignore it. people who just looking around, and this is part of something, because Manhattan, and especially Times Square, is something you see a lot of big screens, a lot of stores. So everybody's occupied with this materialistic life. Even they see it, but they don't see it. Allah says within the Holy Quran, "Lahum a'yunun." They have eyes, but they don't see.
But they don't see.
They have ears, but they don't hear.
Hear.
Always we tell our kids, like when we're talking with them, "Are you hearing me?" It's like, "Dad, I'm hearing you." Like, "No, I know you're hearing my voice, but are you understanding what I'm saying?
Are you listening to me?
Are you listening to me?" So they see this, but they are not seeing this, that, okay, I need to do something about it. After a very long time, I believe it was 4 to 6 hours, a beggar himself comes, an elderly guy. He himself comes and he tells him, "Okay, well, you are shivering." He takes the jacket. He's like, "I have one pair of jacket that I'm wearing." The older guy, he's wearing a t-shirt. Even he's a beggar. He's a needy person himself. But he said, we feel that he feels what he's feeling.
Yeah.
He takes it out. He's wearing a t-shirt. He's like, "You are in need of this jacket more than
me."
I. So he gives it to him. And then the camera people come to him and say, "Okay, we were just doing a social studies and we're trying to see what happens to people, that how people have reached." So these people that walk past by this in hundreds, their body's alive, but their soul is dead.
Maybe some of them are doctors, professors. They are reading books. They're trying
definitely.
to get more information from those secondary knowledges and sciences.
Those are important. Again, we are not trying to deny and say, okay, all the medicines and sociology and chemistry and biology.
But this is the most important thing that they need to concentrate on.
We need to keep our soul alive.
Yeah.
The knowledge that we gain, one of the knowledge is, okay, for me as a human being, Ahl al-Bayt alayhum as-salam, and the Quran bring our attention that أنفع الناس من نفع الناس. The best people is the one who aid other people. Well, this is the knowledge that I have to have in mind. That even though I have the best penthouse in Manhattan, the biggest house, the most luxurious car,
but if I don't benefit the others,
there's no benefits. Even that a kid. Right now, okay, you can see, for example, some people are begging and needy people. Okay, sometimes you say yes, something no. In the cold winter of New York, a kid shivering, at least you can come say, "Okay, what's happening with you? Why you are sitting here?" Even if you don't want to help. Can I call somebody for help for you? Can I give you a ride to somewhere? Can I do something for you? I don't have anything. I can buy you a hot chocolate, for example. They can keep you warm for the next half an hour. But we get blinded. That's the beauty of the religion of Islam. For example, in Ramadan, which is coming, brings our attention that you are thirsty and you are hungry. Remember, one of the reasons why we fast. Remember the needy people, that they don't have food to eat. At least you have eaten suhoor and you are eating iftar. You have confidence in your life that you can provide something. You have that safety. People are living right now, the refugees in the borders between all the Islamic countries. Just think about them. Have that kind of caring and sharing with them. So that is the knowledge that we must have. In addition, again, let's start with Tawheed, which is Islam is Usul al-Din, Furu' al-Din, and moralities. These all become the knowledge that we have. As we said, Talabul Ilm Faridatun, we read that hadith, another hadith by Imam under Ilm, where Imam says, Ayyuhan nas, i'lamu anna kamal ad-din talabul ilm. Kamal ad-Din, the perfection and the completion, the highest level of religiosity is not only a person dedicating himself to salah and zakat and recitation of Quran, and I'm just dedicating myself only to these books, and no. Kamal ad-Din, the peak of religion, talabul ilm, gaining knowledge, wal amalu bih, and acting upon the knowledge that you have gained. ألا وأن طلب العلم أوجب عليكم من طلب المال. You looking after ilm, eagerly searching, reading, that's why we already given. Okay, Sheikh, we want to gain knowledge. The knowledge that you have told us. Have you introduced us a book to read? Yes. Quran, Book of Ahl Bayt alayhim salam, Tuhaf al-Uqul. So we already have given what we are going to talk about.
We've got the sources.
We got the sources. After that, we have Usul al-Kafi, we have many other Wasa'il al-Shi'a, many other books of ahadith that we have. إن طلب العلم أوجب عليكم من طلب المال. We see people looking eagerly, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, they dedicate their time to gain wealth
and money.
But there is no time. I'm not saying 8 hours you put for gaining halal sustenance for your family, put 8 hours here. No, at least an hour, at least 2 hours, at least 3 hours. Sheikh, we don't have time. Well, while you're driving in the West, I mean, all of our viewers who are in the West, they are driving.
Yeah.
At least the shortest commute that they're going to have is about 15, 20 minutes. Well, you can listen to one lecture. You can go on YouTube and just play a lecture. Alhamdulillah, with Telegram and YouTube and all of these social media, there is no excuse left for us, well, I didn't have a time. While you're sitting in the car, play a video. MashaAllah, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lectures Imam Hussein TV 3 has. They all have it. So while you're going, you listen to one lecture, you're coming back to one lecture. Every day, 2 lectures. Every day, every day. These are what keep us on the right path. Because shaitan takes us step by step away. We keep bringing back ourselves. We keep bringing. Shaitan says this way, we come back again. It's always this struggle. People will say, okay, Sheikh, if that is the case, it's back and forth, back and forth. Inshallah, we are on the right path. We're not sure. Our life might end when we are on the wrong path. We didn't have a time to come back to the right path. إِنَّ الْمَالْ مَقْسُومٌ مَضْمُومٌ لَكُمْ.
Yeah.
Your sustenance, your wealth, it's been written for you. Brother Mustafa Khatib will receive this much wealth in his life. For example, throughout his 70, 80, 90, 100 years life, he will get $1 billion, for example, throughout this 100 years. It's not going to be 1 penny less or 1 penny more. This is how much you have been given. We must strive.
Which is submitted as rizq.
Of course, it's rizq. Allah has written for us our rizq. لَكُمْ قَدْ قَسَّمَهُ عَادِلٌ بَيْنَكُمْ وَضَمِنَهُ. A just being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has spread the wealth amongst the people. And is madmoon, is guaranteed you will have it.
Yeah.
Again, we're not implicating that you should sit home and, okay, I'm just, my rizq is going to
it's
come.
not the case, actually.
You should work, but you should not become eager and become greedy that, okay, I have to get more and more. I see the youth, I say, if you want to become a doctor, become the #1 doctor. You want to become a dentist, become #1 dentist. You want to become an architect, become #1 architect. We have the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam should be #1 in everything, in religiosity, in their materialistic life, in personal life. They should become #1. But it should not be that my main concern becomes this materialistic life. No, my main concern is Allah's satisfaction, gaining more ilm, because ilm is endless. Wealth has ending. You want to become a billionaire, you become a trillionaire, you become higher than trillionaire.
It's limited. At the end of the day, it's limited.
You can eat only this much.
Yeah.
You can live in X amount of square footage. You can have X amount of cars. Then what? It's going to finish. But it's knowledge. Right now we see a lot of these videos that with the self-enhancement and improvement and personal motivation, they all keep saying knowledge, 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 knowledge. Well, in the 21st century, they reach to this level. We have our book of ahadith. That's the beauty of our madhab and our ulama, which some people neglect identifying this and seeing this. Our books of ahadith, the first chapter of book of ahadith of Man La Yahdharu al-Faqih, al-Kafi, al-Istibsar, is not about tawheed. It's not about usul al-din. It's about aql. It's about ilm. Ilm and knowledge, the first chapter. Because if you have the right intellect and aql and enough knowledge,
then you can get through to the other things.
Of course.
Thank you, Sheikh. Actually, we have received the mid of this episode, and I would like to invite you and respected viewers to a beautiful break that my brothers in the control room have prepared for us. And so let's have this break by the recitation to Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and then we will be back. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
أمانة وهبتها يد القدرة للوجود، فأبت السماوات والأرض والجبال حملها، لم تسبق بقرابة في رحم، ولا بسابقة في دين، هو صاحب السر العظيم والمولد الكريم، هو سيف الله المسلول، فكان ومحمد من شجرة واحدة، أذهب الله عنها الرجس. يقاتل على التأويل، ولا تأخذه في الله لومة لائم. قد وتر فيه صناديده، والمذكور في سالف الأزمان. فالق هامة الكفر، أمين الله على كتابه، والقيم بدينه، والحافظ لآياته. والمجاهد في سبيل الله. رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف. اللهم من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه.
Just think for a minute about 14 centuries ago or more. In such a night, we can say the wall of Kaaba split apart, and the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Actually, in this day, Fatima bint Asad, mother of commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, she entered Kaaba by a very obvious and clear and great miracle. She entered Kaaba, Allah, and stayed there for 2 days. When they came back from the same place which she entered, she had a baby within her arms. Commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Almighty puts everything in its right place. So when we see that the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam was born in Kaaba, it may once Almighty may wants to tell people that take care, be careful, that the Qibla of all the hearts and of all the people is where commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam was born in. Okay, Sheikhna, we're at your service, so we're with you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, thinking about that, I mean, always brings goosebumps to my body. That thinking Kaaba. I mean, I haven't been to Mecca yet, but the Kaaba. Inshallah, all of us and all of the viewers, inshallah, by the blessing of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, and Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam, and Imam Hussein alayhi salam, seeing the Kaaba and this wall, like great miracle. I don't know how much people they try to deny his virtues. The reason why I don't, when it comes to any of the Imams, especially Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, كلهم نور واحد, they're all one light. But when it comes to the commander of the faithful, I don't get near his virtues, because you don't know where to start. There's no ending to it. You don't know where to start, what to say. This virtue is very beautiful. This virtue is more beautiful. Each and every one of the virtues, born in Kaaba, martyred in Mihrab, in Sujood, in Ramadan, every aspect of his life. We have a famous, I mean, this is part of the knowledge. I mean, it can be good relationship. They saw a Jewish individual became Shia and follower Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. They told him, what brought you to this, to accepting this individual? He said, I saw Ali ibn Abi Talib in the battle of Khaybar. What he was doing and how a young individual, I mean, Amir al-Mu'mineen, when Rasulullah was martyred, he was only 33 years old, very young.
Very
so
young.
during the battles, he's less than 30.
Sure.
This young individual, what he does in the battlefield, that bravery. But when it comes to an orphan, how he becomes humble on earth, how can he have these both together? Because you have people who have strong body and physical body, strong physical body and muscle, It's hard for them to be like that.
To be sensitive, so sensitive,
very
yeah.
sensitive, or vice versa. We do have, I mean, the opposite. It's not like a general rule. It's always exception. But this individual, bravest of the brave, becomes the humblest of the humble in front of an orphan.
Allah.
He bends down and he has these orphans sitting on his back, and he makes the sounds of a sheep to satisfy and to bring happiness to this face. So these are the knowledge that we must have. I mean, how many of us were able to prove the wilayah and the guardianship of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, commander of the faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, to a non-Shia? Do we have enough evidence? I mean, the evidence is there. How much of that knowledge I have? Or when I see, I remember one of the students, we had a youth sessions in the West, came to me and told me, okay, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam was good. Other people were also good. The other people have some good and some
There's
bad.
no comparison between Ali
How
and
can you compare it? I mean, Imam says even they brought me lower and lower until they said Muawiyah and
Allahu
Ali.
Akbar.
I mean, how can you
Allahu
can't compare? There's no, there is one, you can say, okay, a centimeter or some small aspect, okay, let's agree that these both had it in common, and then let's just move on from this. There is no commonality between these two. Creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, having knowledge, how can I prove Amir al-Mu'mineen to the non-Shia? People will say, okay, Sheikh, this is also a theory. Do you have a book for us? Yes. Peshawar Nights. Layali Peshawar by Sultan Mu'adhin al-Shirazi. A beautiful book, easy read. It's 10 chapters, 10 nights Sultan Mu'adhin al-Shirazi and non-Shia scholars sit from Maghrib prayer until morning prayer. They have a dialogue, they have a discussion. The book is translated into English. It's available PDF online. Just go Peshawar Nights PDF. You'll find it. Start reading this book so you agreeing the Khilafah of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the wilayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen based on reasonings. Not that some of the youth came to me and say, Sheikh, the majority of the Muslims are non-Shia.
So what?
So what? Does it show that we are right? I said, go read. If I tell you, you also, okay, my Sheikh said that it's okay, we are still Shia. No, have logical reasoning, rational reasoning that I am following Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 100, 1,000 reasons. Nobody will shake you. Nobody will bring you doubt. That brings us to the second. So, hayatuha ilmuha, that it's life is with knowledge. Mautuha jahluha.
Yeah.
If a person lives a life of ignorance, that person is dead. Physical body is alive,
But his soul is dead.
but his soul is dead, because he always has ignorance, and he doesn't know this. He doesn't know this. You ask him questions, he doesn't know. Brings us to a very important point. When we are ignorant about something, for example, my car breaks down. I'm ignorant how to fix it. The only thing I know about a car is how to put
It's how
gas
to
in
drive,
it
yeah.
and drive it. Any of the light engines, any of the lights turn on in the dashboard,
Got no idea about it.
completely ignorant. I won't go and try to find it myself, dig in, okay, plug this, put this. It's dangerous. You might be unplugging something, or putting something in the middle of a highway, driving 100 miles per hour, less or more. Something happens to the car. It's your life.
Yeah.
You take it to the specialist. You ask a specialist what I can do about this. Or you become sick or ill. Unfortunately, we do have this tendency. When we are sitting within a gathering, I say, okay, I'm sick. Everybody becomes a doctor.
Gives you a drug.
This is what I did, this medicine I take. The other one says, this is I took, it's better. Oh, my grandmother did this, or my ancestors did this. If it's like basic sickness and illnesses,
Yeah,
like
it's easy to
it's easy, like cold.
Yeah.
You have to take some small medicines or some small coughing. But when it comes then, just right, for example, right now,
Yeah, with corona, for example.
coronavirus. Anybody who sneezes, that's it. Anybody who coughs, they take it seriously.
Yeah.
Because it's a life or death situation. Well, that's physical body. We're talking about our soul. One doubt, we will read وَمَرَضُهَا شَكُّهَا.
Yeah.
The same way that our body becomes sick, our soul becomes sick also. What is that kind of sickness? Shak, doubt.
The doubt.
An individual has doubt about, do we really have to follow Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam after Rasulullah or not? Well, people didn't want him. Don't we talk about democracy? Well, people did not want Amir al-Mu'mineen after Rasulullah. They went after Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman. After that, they came to Amir al-Mu'mineen. Why so fuss about it? Why we have made so much big fuss and complain and we go everywhere, oh people, this is wrong. Don't worry about it. People didn't want him. After Uthman, they wanted him. That's it. It's history, leave it behind. That's how they simplify it. That, okay, it was a political fight.
Yeah.
Habibi, it's not a political fight. It's about guiding the arc of the ummah of Islam to the right destination. Rasulullah says, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. This is the path of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. People after Rasulullah came, not only they say, well, this arc is not going to go this way. They didn't say this way, they didn't say this way, they didn't say this way. 180
Exactly
degrees, the opposite, they're taking it. And with speed. They're going with speed, the opposite. Well, so it's about who's leading this arc, who's leading this ummah. Are they getting to the right destination or wrong destination?
So this is not the matter of democracy. This is the matter of life and death.
Life and death. It's about spirituality. It's about divine. It's about finding the path. Well, this is wrong. This way you go, it's a dead end. No, we're going to go this way. Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, he gets to Khilafah. I mean, he already Khalifatullah on earth. People willing or not willing.
Not willing.
Following him or not following. He's Khalifatullah on earth. Like, for example, Iraq sent a representative to another country. They like him, they don't like him. He's the ambassador of the Iraq. Yeah. Whatever comes to it. They're not going to agree with him. I don't care. Allah says, I am sending a Khalifa. إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ Khalifa. Amir al-Mu'mineen. Right now, you follow him, he's the Khalifa. You don't follow him, he's the Khalifa. It's your lost. The GPS I gave you, you turn it on, you keep it up to date, it's going to give you to your destination. You don't want,
then
you're going right.
Get lost, yeah.
And that's the beauty. I mean, that's how much we try to keep it tangible. When you go right or left, the GPS says, okay, the first U-turn, make a U-turn and come back.
There is a path to go to the way
It keeps telling you come back.
Yeah,
but
come
we
back
just keep going and going and going. But still, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ever merciful, He wants people to come back.
Yeah.
We see Imam Hussein alayhi salam, we are in his presence. Last minute, he's still trying to tell people, okay, you've gone astray, come back.
Yes.
I don't need your help from me.
Sure.
I'm here to take your hand to take you to heaven. He keeps reaching out. He keeps reaching out like a kid when he wants to buy something. For example, he wants to buy a candy. You don't buy him a candy. You know, for example, God forbid, he has diabetes. He throws himself on the ground and he's screaming and he's yelling. You try to reach and give him a comfort and hug him. He hits you, but still you as a father, you love him, that I did this for you. There's no benefit for me not to buy it. True, I'm saving money, but it's only a couple of dollars of candies. You will be hurt. We see with Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha, after the shahada of Rasulullah, only a couple of days, she goes door to door every night for 40 nights with Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein alayhim salam. She goes, knocks on the door, people, that's the GPS, come back, Amir al-Mu'mineen.
Don't you remember the day of Ghadir?
Don't you? So, brings you to the right path.
Allah.
People say, yes, no, they care. Again, they are not in need of us following them, but they care for us. Abun Shafiq, they care for us and they love us more than our father.
Sure.
But we keep going astray, So can I prove him that it wasn't a political fight? No, it's about haqq and batil, righteous and falsehood. Which path I am on? It's either or. Don't tell me, well, there are, as we mentioned within the previous episode with Shahad Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam, many paths. Path of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam.
That's the only true path.
Only truth. Aliyun ma'al haq. Al-haq. He is with the truth, and the truth is with Ali. No one else. No other path, no other ism, no other individual, no other theory. No. Only Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, and none but Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. So this haq, how much I know of him, that I can tell non-Shia Muslims and non-Muslims. لو عرف الناس محاسن كلامنا لاتبعونا. If people get to know the beauty of our words, how many ahadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen I know?
They would indeed follow us, yeah.
I am 100% sure throughout my 20 years that I lived in America, I saw the life of the non-Muslims. I am pretty sure if they get to know the ahadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam, beautiful gems of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, in Nahj al-Balagha, in all the other, one hadith can change person's life.
Allah. By the way, Sheikh, we only got 10 minutes today
Wow,
of this
time
show,
flies.
so actually we still need to know more about this beautiful hadith of the commander of faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam.
Okay, so we talked about ilm, we talked about jahl, and
We
how
talked
can
about
we
the sickness of the soul
sickness. So
as
in
well.
order for us not to become dead, we have to cure the sickness. Sickness is doubt.
Yeah.
When we have doubt, action plan will be, I have questions about my aqidah, about usul al-din, about ahkam, about akhlaq. Let me refer to ulama. Let me refer to maraja. Let me refer to scholars. I shouldn't become, I'm not an expert to open a book, hadith, and draw ahkam from it. I remember there was a discussion that, okay, any ghusl, for example, any ghusl will suffice wudu. Our maraja, mostly, they say the only ghusl that suffices wudu is ghusl janaba. Right now, Grand Ayatollah Sistani says ghusl jum'ah also adds to it. Well, he comes with a ruling. We trust his judgment and the judgment of the scholar. That's it. I had an individual who said, no, Sheikh, any ghusl will suffice. How did you come to this conclusion? Well, I read one hadith. Somebody might say, Sheikh, you told us to read a hadith. How can we come? I'm not saying to read a hadith to draw a hukm, a verdict for yourself. The beauty of this Tuhaf al-Uqul
can do it,
yeah, definitely. And this Tuhaf al-Uqul is about morality. It's about finding the path. In our ahkam, we need to find a marja' taqleed that is most pious, most that we have discussed in many episodes. We follow him and our ahkam. But in decision-making life, between junud al-aql, and soldiers of intellect and soldiers of ignorance, we should not leave doubts. I want to emphasize on this. Because a sickness will lead to another illness, will lead to another illness. One doubt will lead to another doubt, will lead to another doubt, and slowly become dead. Our soul become dead because we did not resolve these questions. Any questions, again, alhamdulillah, this day and age, there is no excuse for anyone who can say, okay, I didn't know. I didn't have chance. Social media, WhatsApp, Facebook,
Internet is ready just by Googling it and searching it. I can
search it. No, actually, I want to say, go to the scholars. Ask people. People come to your community. Scholars come to community. Ask one individual. Ask another individual. Ask another individual about the problems that you have within the religion. That, for example, is it a political fight? Was it a political fight? Why do we need to follow Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam? Why? What's in Ali ibn Abi Talib? Ask people. Do not live a life of doubts. Find the truth and follow it. Then maraduha shakkuha. Sahatuha yaqinuha. I want to see if my soul is alive and is healthy. Let me see if I'm living the life of doubt or certainty. So when I get to a doubt, having a doubt is no problem, but living a life of doubt.
Just as it is, it's a problem.
As soon as you get a doubt, okay, write it down, send an email to a scholar, call a scholar, WhatsApp someone, scholars. Do not ask a normal lay person, what do you think of this doubt? No, ask scholars. Same thing that right now.
Those professional people who are aware of this problem and they have the best answer.
I am pretty sure this era, this time that we're living, anybody who sneezes or coughs, nobody's going to tell them take just normal medicine. They will right away go to the doctor to see if you have coronavirus or not. Everybody is becoming silent. Well, the religion, doubt. As soon as a doubt comes into someone's mind about aqidah, about usul al-din, about pillars, about ahkam, about why we hijab. I remember reading a sister in a community brings a verse of the Holy Quran, and based on that verse, she's saying that hijab is not wajib. Based on the verse of the Quran. She doesn't know Arabic. She only has read, I don't think she has read Quran cover to cover. She hasn't read a hadith.
Only by reading a verse.
One verse, she's drawing a conclusion. So, and then some people say, yes, you're right, and some people say, no, you're wrong, and so on and so forth. No, go to the scholar, specialist. Go to a scholar, one scholar, two scholars, three scholars, five scholars. They might have different of opinion from different angles. But when you get to five scholars, again, this day and age with WhatsApp and Telegram, it's not hard. You can get access to any of the scholars over Facebook or Twitter. Ask them, message them. After five scholars, if it's a very, very strong and very deep doubt, well, you'll be able to come to a conclusion. I mean, five is a good number to have five opinions to come to a conclusion. After that, you live a life of yaqeen, certainty. Again, each one of this, we can go into it. I'm just trying to cover it. نومها غفلتها. Its negligence is its sleepness. Don't neglect. People who passed by that kid, they were negligent.
Neglected him, yeah.
They were neglecting him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our life shows us signs. Not one, not two, not 100, not 1,000, millions of signs He shows us for us to stay on the right path. If a government, like the Western countries, they think of all different signs that's needed within street for you to have a smooth and safe travel. We're talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's not going to leave this path dark for us. He sends us home, Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, Inna al-Hussein misbahul huda. That guidance, that light is there for us to find the path. He will show us 1 sign, 2 sign, 3, 5, 10 million. But when it gets to it that we neglected all the signs, Allah says, ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم. There's a seal, that's it. Millions of signs I showed you. You keep neglecting. Well, forget about you. Seal, let's move on to next one. So, نومها غفلتها. We should become aware. Everything is a sign for me. Everything I hear is a sign for me. I was telling my family, everybody who talks to me, like as soon as somebody talks to me or I'm talking, a fight starts within me. Okay, which part of this discussion is about me? Allah put something in His mind to tell me. He's trying to address this weakness of me, or He's trying to tell me about this important aspect of my life, or He's trying to guide me this. It doesn't people come to me and suddenly say something out of coincidence. There's nothing coincidence. No, Allah placed something in His mind to tell me either to find the truth, or I was making a mistake, or I should do this or that. So I have to be aware of it. Try to see the signs. Try to hear the signs. يَغْضَتُهَا حِفْظُهَا. By keeping it awake, we are protecting it. Again, how we protect it is by us being aware, seeing around, seeing, hearing, not living within my own bubble of my smartphone and my own work. I go to my work. One of the things I dislike about some people, they have 9 to 5 job. They go to work this time. They come to home this time. They do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. They go to bed this time exactly. There is nothing else beyond this. It is good to have a routine. It's good to have alaykum binazma amrikum. Imam Ali alayhi salam, also one of his advices is to organize your affair, but not in a way that I'm not aware of my surrounding, not aware of what is happening around me, to my family, to my kids, to my relatives, to my community member. I cannot be neglecting a community member. I cannot neglect my own son. No, I have to be aware of myself and aware of my surrounding, and then more the discussion.
Good. Actually, thank you so much for the great description that you had over this narration of the Commander of Faithful, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Actually, as you just mentioned at the beginning of this show, that there are lots of things about the narrations of the Commander of Faithful of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam to say, and it's not able for us to limited in only one episode, but this is the time that we have. They are just telling me that you only have 1 minute left, so I have to make even my words shorter. And I would like to mention, thank you, actually, Sheikh, for the great discussion and for the great ideas that you gave us. I would like to say, the respected viewers, brothers and sisters, you're watching this show and you are Za'irina of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and inshallah we are your representative here in Karbala in this great holy city. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in, and Ya Hussein. Thank you, Sheikhna. Thank you so much.
May Allah bless you.
Inshallah. Ahsantum, Sheikhna.
علي 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 دلالي نبضاته علي 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 قرآني وآياته علي يا أحلى نسمة علي بشفافي بسمة علي يا أحلى نسمة علي بشفافي بسمة علي 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 دلالي نبضاته